If I wanted to visit Mongolia, what would you recommend? What's the right way?
Well, start with my home.
Mhm.
Let's start there. You come over there. It's a nice valley. I have a nice valley there, and it, I think almost any direction you go outside of the city is going to be interesting.
Mhm.
It kind of depends a little bit on your purpose. Most people go south to the Gobi and they do a loop to the Gobi and around to Karakoram, Hahor, the old capital from Oguzhe Han, but it was abandoned by Kublai Khan. And then they circle back to the city and they may stop off to see what we call Przewalski, the wild horse, but they call Taki, to see the Tahi, or they may go up to Hoofschool Lake, a big, beautiful lake, somewhat like Baikal, but much smaller. So that's a beautiful trip. If you want to see the more Turkic area where they hunt with eagles, the far west is where the Kazakh people live. And the mountains are absolutely incredibly beautiful. Most mountains in Mongolia are gentle, beautiful, but gentle. The farther west you go, the more dramatic they become, the more pointed and peaked and snow-covered. Then if you go to the eastern Mongolia, it tends to be very flat. There are massive, massive flocks of cranes that come in every year. Millions and millions of cranes. There are also tundra swans that come in, and golden ducks, and all kinds of beautiful birds out there. And so each area has something special. If you want particularly the history of Genghis Khan, the Mongolians love him, they worship him, but they don't do too much to capitalize on his home area, the Hinti. You can go to the Hinti. There are areas you cannot go to. Large areas, it's forbidden. But you can go, but they don't capitalize like, this is the place. No, they go there themselves out of respect. But the only one place they built this statue of him, which is the largest equestrian statue in the world, but it's the place where they say he found his whip, which is when he was coming back from being at the camp of asking Orgol Han or Torgol Han or Wang Han to support him. And he's coming back to his family. And on the way, he supposedly found a whip there, which is just a small stick with a couple of strands of rawhide at the end of it that's used. But for the Mongolians, it's a symbolic thing because obviously it's used for the horse. But for the Mongols, your destiny, yourself, your real is your himor, your wind horse that lives inside of you, your wind horse that guides you and gives you opportunities. But it's up to you to ride that wind horse. It's up to you to use the wind horse, not to just go wild with the wind horse. And so I think it's at that crucial moment. He's on his way back home and to go with Jamoka and the other soldiers to the market to rescue Bursta. And so symbolically, he found a whip there. But I think it means that he found the way to control his destiny, his fate. That's very important, very important.
And that he did. That was the beginning of
Yes.
everything.
Yes. And it's symbolized in that statue. Some people think that he's holding this stick, that it's a baton or something like that. But no, it's that what they call a whip or tushur.